Playboy Scott Hayes, sorry to interrupt you here on your way to the locker room to get dressed for your big upcoming match with Jeff the Crippler Daniels, NWA Mid-America Heavyweight title on the line. Can you give us your thoughts?
Man, Jason, we've been battling all over Tennessee here, and it's all coming to a head here tonight at the Tennessee Homecoming 2008. I can't wait. I'm on my game. I'm ready to go.
Well, there you hear it. Playboy Scott Hayes, #1 contender for the Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. Well, this is it. No disqualification for the NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. It doesn't get any bigger than this moment right here for Jeff Daniels or for Scott Hayes.
And speaking of the moment, Jeff Daniels went straight. He seized the moment, well, I guess you could say, as attacking Scott Hayes as soon as the bell sounds, getting the upper hand early. And Jeff Daniels knows, I mean, both these guys were in the Battle Royal earlier, so there's not one that's got more, fatigue than the other. But he knows Scott Hayes mentally has to be feeling pretty high right now.
Absolutely. Can Scott Hayes go 2 for 2 as he was able to capture the Nick Gulas Memorial Cup? Can he capture the Mid-America Heavyweight Championship?
He can if he keeps delivering right hands like that. And Jeff Daniels heads for the heels on that one, but quite frankly, he can't get himself counted out in this one, Jason.
Well, he can't because there's no DQ, no count out, so he has to return to the squared circle.
He said earlier, you heard him say earlier, this puts things in his favor. In a way it does because he's got Dominique out there with him. But in other ways, this levels the playing field in other ways because now it's not just Scott Hayes that has to beat Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels has to beat Scott Hayes. Absolutely.
And Jeff Daniels, like you said, has Dominique out here, which week in and week out he's got Dominique in his corner, so that's nothing new there.
Absolutely not. It just means that the referee intentionally will allow Dominique's annex now.
Jeff the Crippler Daniels returning to the ring to battle the Playboy Scott Hayes.
This is one that's been building up for quite some time. Jeff Daniels has managed to hold on to that title thus far.
And a very beautiful championship that has been created. As promoter Porter said earlier in our award ceremony that we're not showing on this DVD. If you weren't there, you missed it. Nearly 5 months ago, a pure maniac came in and destroyed our championship belt out of pure hatred and pure jealousy of the National Wrestling Alliance and of Mike Porter. That belt since has been recreated, restructured, and finally a championship belt that holds the class of the Mid-America ranks has been brought back to the National Wrestling Alliance.
And you could say back and better than ever because
Absolutely.
That is a beautiful piece of leather and gold.
Absolutely. And Jeff Daniels now on the outside, which I forecast a lot of that in this contest. A lot of tuck, tail, and run from Jeff the Crippler Daniels.
I think we saw a couple of weeks ago at the fairgrounds what he did to Scott Hayes. Busted him wide open on the outside of the ring. With a little help from Dominique, of course.
Oh yeah, anytime that you mention Jeff Daniels, you got to mention Dominique. When Jeff Daniels stated earlier that they should award them the tag titles, that's something that I've said 100 times, Tyler.
Absolutely, I've heard you say that a lot.
And they are the best tag team. And wait just a minute. You see Jeff motioning his hand, and Dominique, look, she just put something in the hand of Jeff the Crippler Daniels.
He's still being ever so sneaky about it, and even though it's allowed, I guess hiding it from Scott Hayes more than the referee.
Well, obviously the fans here in Nashville trying to warn Playboy Scott Hayes that there is something in that left hand of Jeff Daniels.
Looks like he's passed it back off now to Dominique again. Oh yeah, the clean hands of Jeff the Crippler Daniels. Ever the sportsman he is, Jason.
Yeah, the sportsman.
The right hands here by Scott Hayes out of the test of strength. I don't think we've seen a clean one of these all night. Irish whip in, and the drop kick sends the Crippler down to the floor, not the mat, the floor.
And Scott Hayes now, and Jeff Daniels is down and out.
He may have been hurt on that spill to the outside. The Playboy Scott Hayes patiently waiting for Jeff Daniels to re-enter the ring. It's the only way he can win this match and win that title that he's been chasing ever since he came back into NWA main event.
Jeff the Crippler Daniels, Scott Hayes circle the ring one more time, collar and elbow, and Jeff the Crippler Daniels with that knee to the midsection of Scott Hayes cuts him off as quick as they locked up.
Immediately, as they came in to tie up, Jeff goes straight for the knee. That's, nothing you can say about that. That's a veteran maneuver.
And now choking the life out of Scott Hayes. And there's Dominique on the outside. Of course, there's no disqualification, so it doesn't matter if the referee sees it or not.
But the fans hate it all the same, of course. Even though there are no rules, there's a set of standards that these fans here in Nashville like to hold their competitors to. And Jeff Daniels, week in and week out, brazenly just denies them, abuses them.
Well,
Jeff
Daniels is one you can't hold that standard to, because Jeff Daniels is not your typical competitor in NWA main event.
That is absolutely true. Vicious, malicious, and in every way turning things into his favor any way he can. And I believe Dominique has gone to that chair that they brought to the ring with them.
Absolutely, Dominique, you got to watch her on the outside. As always, she has that steel chair just waiting for Playboy Scott Hayes to turn around so she can try to bash him in the head with it.
She is waiting for that opportunity, that's for sure. The anticipation, my goodness.
Wait just a minute. Don't turn around,
Scott.
Don't turn
around, Scott.
Oh! She just clocked Jeff Daniels!
Scott Hayes just outplayed the Crippler right there.
Dominique just inadvertently struck her husband in the head with a steel chair.
And she's got nowhere to hide now, no Crippler to hide behind, because she laid him out with that chair.
Dominique is pleading and begging for Jeff to... I don't even think Jeff knows where he's at right now.
I sure wouldn't after a shot like that. That woman can swing, and she put everything she had into that chair shot, hoping to hit Scott Hayes. Scott Hayes just outfoxed him. He knew it was coming. We were afraid to say, don't turn around, Jeff, but he knew what was coming better than we did. And now the right hand by the Playboy, and Jeff is reeling. They go over to the other ring again. The action going everywhere.
And wait a minute, watch out, cameraman, because they're coming. And Jeff Daniels is busted wide open.
We'd have to think so after that chair shot. That was what did it to Scott Hayes a few weeks ago.
Jeff the Crippler Daniels, your Mid-America heavyweight champion, bloodied and beaten right here. And Scott Hayes, but he's still able to fight back.
That's true. I know he's a big LSU fan, but he's wearing the crimson mask of Alabama right now. He'll probably hate me when he hears that.
Speaking of, didn't Alabama? Never mind.
Yeah, we won't go into that. Oh, I do know that Vanderbilt's going to a bowl game and Tennessee's not. But anyway, in any event,
unbelievable.
Jeff Daniels climbing back into the ring. Scott Hayes trying to pull himself back up. He's been in absolute war thus far.
Jeff Daniels bloodied, and Scott Hayes pin attempt.